Away from football and that emotional moment where we have a summer guy, we go straight to a very young man, Oluleke, who is waiting for us to talk about cubing. We know if you have been a lover of plus sport and show love you are, you not miss the fact that we've talked about cubing, a sport that has to do with your mental brain and all that. Speaking to me on cubing in Nigeria is Oluleke John. It's good to have you, Oluleke.
Good day, sir.
Yes, I'm sure that cubing has many challenges like other sports in the country.
Yes.
Can you tell us how you came across this sport?
Okay, so back when I was in secondary school, I one of our seniors, he had a Rubik's cube just like this, a 3x3, and then he tried solving it. So he had tutorials that he went through, things like that. But then I was like, okay, I want to try this because everybody was having the myth that it's kind of impossible. You have to be the smartest of all to do it and stuff like that. So lucky for me, I went home and then I found one at home. And then I was like, let me try this out. So I sat down and I searched online and I learned it in just 3 days alone. And I was able to learn it just in time for me to go back to school and show everybody that I could solve a Rubik's Cube. And then that's how my journey started.
Yeah, we have a picture of you, won the boss position,
Yes.
and with a prize money of 30,000 naira.
Yes.
After that decision you made in cubing, has it been so far so good for you?
Cubing has actually helped me a lot in terms of meeting new friends. There's one thing I've noticed: the cubing community in general, they're just very friendly, and then every moment you just be like, oh, I did this, and then they're really ready to like, oh, you should have done this to make it better, all those kind of things like that. And it's very, very nice community. Another thing I've realized is that unlike every other task or sports, some of them are kind of like digital. That's like personal things you do at home. Cubing is, right, I like to call it analog. Anywhere I go, I can just put a cube in my bag. I can just have fun with it as I'm moving around, all those kind of things. So it's just very fun for me. Wherever I'm going, nobody's going to tell me that, oh, don't carry this, it's not allowed, all those kind of things. It's not bulky, it's just very light, and I really appreciate that.
So some compare
I
this
really love
sport
about
to
cubing.
chess, where it has to do with the mental being. How
Yes.
true is that? Because tell us the benefit, apart from it being a competition, something you need to win an award for, something you need to
Yeah.
compete with others. What are the benefits of cubing?
Okay, so logically, I
Okay.
like to explain it that number one thing, cubing is not a thing of IQ. So let's move that aside. It has benefits.
Oluleke,
Yes, sir. Yes.
that's going to take a little bit of thought process from what people have said. Other people said you must have a level of IQ before you do
Yes, yes, yes,
cubing.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, but you just
So
said now that you don't have a high level of IQ. I want that being
yes.
explained.
Okay, so the thing about cubing is that it is a learnable sport.
Okay.
And then for any learnable sport, the only difference between me and somebody who is starting out now is that I've been doing it over a period of time and it becomes subconscious, muscle memory, as we like to call it. So at that point, maybe when you start, let's say as a beginner cuber, I remember when I first started, things that cubing helped me with were memory. I had to remember how to do certain things within certain times. I had to master the ability to move my fingers in a certain way for efficiency, all those kind of things. But then as time went on, all these things just became a thing of just just impulse. I don't exactly have to think about it. So the closest thing to IQ that cubing adds is at the beginning stages when you're trying to learn how to cube initially, or when you're trying to learn new algorithms as you become more advanced, trying to learn new puzzles, trying to the more complex they get, all those kind of things. Those are the times when something similar to IQ you can call. But for the rest of it, cubing just helps you memorize things, helps you be like, okay, this is how I learned this, let me try and put it to my daily life. It helps your motor, like your fingers, just helps them get relaxed, just you moving it around, that kind of just peace. Really, that's what I like to call it, peace. That's
Yeah,
how
and
cubing
it's
helps
peace
me.
definitely because you don't have so much. It seems your what you said so far, if I'm not wrong, is you're self motivated. And how has been
Yes.
so far? Have you been discouragement, encouragement, support, lack of support from your parents? How did they see you? They open the door, you're with a cube. They check on you, you're with a cube. Have they been supportive, or how do you get your motivation to this level?
Okay, so I think from okay, let's start from the very beginning when I first started cubing.
Okay.
I didn't exactly spend that much time at home because I was in a boarding school. So the lack of support was from the secondary school because they felt like it was a toy.
Oh, okay.
Because it's something that people just carry around normally and they feel like it's a toy. So there was kind of this sentiment of or this feel that now it's a toy, don't carry it around, read your books, all those kind of things. But then us that still went to be rebellious, we still kept on
Okay.
solving. So that was kind of like the negative part. Then the positive part, I would say for my parents, they actually didn't. My father bought me my first speed cube.
Okay.
I actually told him that, sir, this is what I want, and he's like, okay, let's find out how to order it. And he bought for I and my brother. It was a gun cube back then. That was like 2018 or so. And then from that point on, as time went on, I technically stopped cubing
Okay.
in 2020. That was in during Corona break.
Okay.
So something was wrong with my cube, so I stopped cubing. 2021, that was 2021. I was not cubing.
Okay.
2022, when I got to university, my
Okay.
roommate, one day I was watching a cubing video on YouTube, and then he's like, wait, did I just hear that? And he's like, he too, he can solve a Rubik's Cube. And then there was just this motivation again that, oh, I have somebody here that cubes. Let's start cubing together. So we ordered our cubes. We started competing with each other. And then gradually, the whole motivation came back. Then I'm like, oh, there's a cubing association. They're holding a competition because we used to check the World Cubing Association website regularly, and we saw there's one here. That time I was not even on the Nigerian group, so I was like, oh, there's one. Let me try and pay for it. So it was when I finally went for the first competition that I finally joined the Nigerian
Community.
Cubing Association group on WhatsApp, and then since that point on, the group is always active, literally always active. People dropping their new personal best, people saying, okay, this is the problem I have, can you help me do this, how can I get a cube? So from that point on, excluding the time of secondary school downline, it has always been encouragement. And the
Okay.
thing about it is that there was this thing where people are like, you can't make money from it, you're just wasting your time. But then the moment that I went for the competition and then there was like a good thing that they found out that there were a lot of people coming for this thing, it just changed the way people around me looked towards cubing. It
Okay.
just changed the whole thing. They're like, oh, it's
Okay.
actually a sport. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's a cube there. Millions of
Yes,
viewers
I am.
across the
Yes.
globe
With a couple
are
of cubes,
watching
yes.
you. Can you raise up the cube and try to tell our viewers what is that
Okay.
thing someone wants to achieve with this cube? Tell us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a Rubik's Cube. This is a regular Rubik's Cube, a 3 by 3. It's a 3 by 3 because it has 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That we call them layers.
Okay.
3 layers across, 3 layers downwards. Now, this is a solved state of a Rubik's Cube. This is the state you yourself want to get to. Now, when it gets scrambled like this is a scrambled state. So
Scramble
your aim
states.
is to take it from, sorry?
Let me talk like a novice. Scramble state is a state where the colors will be the same in each layer.
Yes, they are not on the same side. Yes, that's a
Because
scramble state.
earlier I saw the red on the same layers, the three red, the
Yes,
three
exactly.
red. So a
But the
scramble
thing about
state
it,
is a state whereby you will not find three reds all together.
yes. The complete face
Okay.
must be one color. A
Okay.
complete face must be one color.
Okay.
So even though there's a red here like this,
Yeah.
it is still a scrambled state
Oh,
as
okay.
far as the other sides around it and the full cube is still not having the same thing around.
Okay.
So from this point on, from the very basic Rubik's Cube tutorials that we have,
Yeah.
they will tell you to take it to solve a cross like
Okay.
this.
Okay. Hope you can
Then
see
after
that.
the cross,
Okay.
you solve a full first layer.
Okay.
So your aim is to get something like this.
Okay. Okay.
Come in. Yes.
Oluleke,
Yeah.
there's
Sorry
something.
about that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Yes.
fine. But there's
So
some.
the aim is to get something like this
Okay.
on one of the faces of your choice.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
So you can see the rest of the cube is still scrambled, as you can see.
Okay.
But one face or one layer, as we like to call it,
Yes.
because you can see everything here is aligned.
Okay.
You can see this. It's
Okay.
different from this now. You can
Okay.
see this place. Can you see how
They are
there's one
not
that is wrong
aligned.
here? And if you turn to the back, but the face, this is a face, but this is a layer.
Okay.
This full one is a layer. So
Okay.
your aim is to make sure that the full layer is
Okay.
solved
Oh, it's so.
like this.
Okay. So no.
That's
So
the first step.
okay. Yeah, I'm sure
Yes.
time might not permit us for you to tell us all the
Yes.
steps. But this is my
Yes.
question.
Yes.
What comes? You even talk about timing because you are going to be with next. How about the timing? Is it the faster
Okay.
the person who does the layer properly with the shortest time wins?
Okay. Yes. The person who has the scrambles are usually the same. So
Okay.
we have notations in cubing. An example of notations are right, left, front, back, up, and down. Those are the notations we have in cubing. So they allow us to make the cube to make kind of like a general solution or a general scramble depending on what you're doing. So at a competition, there are scrambles generated by WCA themselves. So those
Okay.
scrambles are then scrambled right there in the competition to
Okay.
make sure that everybody's cube is the same.
Oh, okay.
So once the cubes are the same, you're sure that every single participant or cuber
Okay.
has the same scramble and is like a fair game at that point. So at that point, it's now left to you and your knowledge, your speed, your quick sight to see pieces move around to now execute what you've learned, what you understand to get to a solved state the fastest time. So the person with the fastest time, once you drop the cube and you pick up your cube, is the person with that is going to be the winner.
Okay. Yeah. What's the future of this sport? I'm entertained. I need to let you know that,
Yes.
and I'm sure a lot of
Yes.
viewers across the globe, in Europe, in Asia, in
I'm
Africa
glad you are.
here, are
Yes.
entertained. And what's the future from you? Is there any fear of what the future might look like when it comes to cubing in the country? Because I know Madam Kemi Awe, who is
Yes.
one of the promoter of this sport in Nigeria,
Yes.
is doing so
A
well to
delegate.
ensure. But what's the future like? And what's the fear in the future?
The future, the possible future is a lot of people around the globe,
Okay.
especially here that we're talking about Nigeria here. A lot of people around the globe start to see cubing as not just a toy, but
Okay.
as something that somebody could do without having to really stress physically and still be called a sport.
Okay.
Because it is a sport, it meets all the criteria as a sport. Even on a Google search, when you ask what is speed cubing, it's called a sport. So that is like the future that we want to see. We want to be able to see people come around the globe. The same people gather around for football matches, gather around for hockey matches, all those kind of things, to gather around to host competitions, people have fun, meet new friends, become faster, just have peace of mind. And then when it comes to the fears are that it wouldn't get I strongly believe that it will get there eventually. But
Okay.
then just the time at which it will get there, like time it will take to get to that point where we'll say, yes, cubing is now known properly as a sport to the rest of the world.
Oluleke,
That's what the fear is.
Oluleke, we can keep saying this on and on because I'm sure you're an expert when it comes to cubing. I want to say a big thank you for being part of today's show.
Yes.
In
Really
subsequent
glad to be
edition,
here.
we'll probably get to you. I want to say a big thank you to your mom and your dad who
Thank
has been
you.
supportive along the way and for
Thank you.
making you be one of the best in speed cubing in Nigeria. Thank you very much, Oluleke.
Thank you very much. It was nice having you. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Yes.